Here we go. We're recording. We're live. Well, we're almost live. Welcome to Volume 2 of George and Brian's Look at the Ukraine for the May 2022 edition of the Red Hook Star-Revue. This month with pictures. You can see the pictures here. And we're playing the Ukrainian National Anthem to start. Played by the Slovak Radio Symphony Orchestra. Let's hear a little bit more. Let's hear it louder. Moment of contemplation to all the poor souls who've sacrificed their lives in defense of their country. Okay. Now actually, this is pretty intense because these are all new things we've done since last month, which you can look at the other videos if you go someplace on George's YouTube page. But let's just check something else out here. Because I'm using, oh boy, music. We're going to search for Ukrainian music. And this is from Amazon, all the music you want situation that you can subscribe to. I'm not getting paid for this, but it's $14 a month. I haven't bought a CD in years. Okay, let's see. We could hear the Vesna Trio. The Ukraine is... Here we go. You could do this at home. Maybe you are at home. We'll turn it down and we'll get into our month because Brian and I, that's Brian. Let's turn it way down. Brian and I had a very busy month in between doing our regular mailing work and other articles for the paper. They opened up a ball field, all kinds of things. On April 11th, we went to the Bulgarian embassy on someplace uptown, I think near the United Nations. We're on 62nd Street, and we went to a fundraiser for Ukraine. It was classical music. Then on the 13th, we saw a movie at the Ukrainian Institute on 79th Street, which we were going to get into, which was quite depressing. Education. The theme of this month is education, culture, not just food. Although we did have a few meals there, including on April 25th at Ridgewood. We went to a Ukrainian deli called Veronicky, where we had all kinds of food, which we'll get into. And then on the 27th, which is where we're speaking now from this week, a great store called Arca in the East Village. Then the Ukrainian Museum on 6th Street. And then we had lunch at Strita, which is like a somewhat hidden gem, which we'll get into there. And on the 28th, we spent the whole day at the Ukrainian Institute, and there was nobody else there. It's like unbelievably great little museum, just a stone's throw away from the Metropolitan Museum Park. So let's go right away. Now you see here, okay, let's get rid of this. Now you see, we have the photos this time. Watching this last month, we would just tell you about the photos. But now I went to a newspaper convention, and I figured out that I asked around. I said, can we do it with the photos? Of course, this is modern times. We're in the 21st century. So this is April 11th. We started our day in the East Village. And I took a picture again of the Blue and the Gold, which is a bar I went to. And I had completely dark hair. And I didn't really know that the blue and the gold stood for the Ukrainian flag. But
it's still going strong.
Yes, and many drunken Ukrainians. I didn't know that then, but they were there. I thought they were just drinking all day. See that nice flag. So we went there. Then there's the The Otto's Benefit, I read that was a very fun event. Featuring the Hip Pips, the Slow Guns, Stephanie Marie. But I was in Schenectady. No, I was in Saratoga Springs. I couldn't go to it.
Learning how to do the pictures.
Right. So we missed some of these things. Okay. On our way to the Bulgarian embassy, we stopped for dinner at Veselka, and it was quite delicious.
Always great programs.
We passed by my friend's store in Puerto Rico importing. Okay, here we go. You want to explain?
Well, the concert was packed, and we talked to the guy downstairs who checked us in, and he said it wasn't usually this crowded. They have other concerts and other events, but he said because this one was for Ukraine, more people showed up than usual. So it was actually, as you can see, it was a packed house, and we were kind of in the back, so we couldn't really see them, but we could hear them.
Yeah, let's see what this is. No, we didn't have any vocals. It was classical music.
We are all God's people.
Oh my goodness.
That's not a nation alive that get to decide.
Okay, let me stay away from the music. But that was Popa Joe, an album called Ukraine. In any case, that was a long time ago that I was a disc jockey. Yes, it was so packed that we were sitting in the outside listening only, but it was, I would say there were string quartets. And see, that was one of the women who was in charge. And these were people in front of us. A few people here, I think, were kind of falling asleep. Maybe that man with the bow tie. But it was very impressive. See, there's a woman. She was going to play.
She played. She played the violin.
Yeah, she had a very interesting music stand. That's the Bulgarian national symbol of some sort. Yeah. That's the inside. There's a woman there. You can see that she was. I told her afterwards that she had a very beautiful dress.
She was the best dressed in the house.
Yes. That man woke up. And afterwards, just when it was ending, I got in and I took some of these pictures. And we all gave money. We gave $40 when we went in, 20 for each of us. And then they had a little, even though, see, the problem is we already ate this stuff, but you can see they have kasha, pierogies. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, look at that. Sausages and sauerkraut. Kasha varnishkas, I think. Sunflowers, you see.
The official flowers of Ukraine.
You know what? I wish I would have been more hungry. Because this stuff, applesauce, a ton of applesauce. Nice.
A lot of good food.
I should have taken a picture of the lady with the yellow scarf and the blue dress. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is where we were. The Consulate General of the Republic of Bulgaria.
On East 62nd.
Yeah. Oh, and this was the program. Pianist was from the Ukraine. Viola from Bulgaria. Violinist from Bulgaria. Cello, Valeria Shorakova from the Ukraine. Then they had more piano players. Anyway, this is what we went to. And it was very interesting. And like, probably would have never gone to it except for this particular series. And so I kind of like this. Let's see here. Oh, now we're getting into silly things, other things that I take pictures of because it's all connected here. Okay, now what is this? Okay. We went to a movie. 2 nights later, we went to a movie called, I forget, that's where we parked.
Yeah, right outside the Ukrainian Institute.
Yeah, 79th Street and 2nd Avenue. It's way uptown. We rarely go uptown New York because this is a Red Hook newspaper. We went to see The Recovery Room, a movie that was made in 2017 that was about a group of Canadians. You want to tell more?
Yeah, it was about Canadian doctors and nurses who went to help victims who were injured in the initial attack in Ukraine,
Yeah.
which started long before the
2014.
new one.
These doctors specialized in facial and hand reconstruction. It was quite fascinating, quite tragic.
Tough to watch.
And if you think that what's going on this year in the Ukraine is new, well, Russia was doing exactly the same things, bombing the piss out of places, including an airport that had just been built.
It was a lot of children also who needed the surgeries.
Okay, we went to see this later in the month, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
But the Ukrainian Institute is a pretty cool building that had been a mansion that somebody named Vanderbilt lived in at one time. And
we saw it because we saw the movie there.
Yeah.
And we didn't really get a chance to look around too much because we just saw the movie, but it looked interesting.
Yes,
and we went back.
So here's the movie. You can't really see. These are trucks. These are people talking. This happened in 2014 in Donetsk and what's the other place? Donetsk.
Donbass region?
Donbass, right. Over 2.3 million persons displaced. That's then. This movie, 2017. So this is all news that most Americans didn't know about, or at least this American. Okay, these are more other things here. I don't know. Sometimes my phone, I press a button and I get a screenshot.
Mm.
So these are scenes from the movie. No.
There's Zelensky.
Why do I have that picture? That's the stamp that just came out. And I understand it's sold out. Back to the movie. Couldn't really get good pictures of the movie, but, you know, flowers and it's just a tragic situation. That's the room there.
And at the end of it, if you go to the last one, go back one, that was the director. She talked to us and took some questions at the end.
Oh, yeah. But didn't she say something about her father?
Her father was also, I think, a director, but she said it was very tough for her to film it because a lot of it was just tough to watch.
Yeah.
And she said she had to take a step back and just kind of take a break from everything afterwards.
I had a glass of red wine after. Okay, here
There's
we
the
go.
Empire State Building was blue and gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool. Okay, so then what happened? Then it was Palm Sunday, or Good Friday. Forget about that. This was exciting. City Field.
And at Yankee Stadium, they also put up the Ukrainian flag right next to the American flag.
The sports thing. These are all. This is for my photo. So I'm sorry for the distractions here. I did take some pictures. The mayor. It's not Bloomberg. It's Eric Adams. Had a little event in front of City Hall with this gentleman is, I think, the U.S. representative from the Ukraine. There's Mr. Mayor fiddling around.
There's the Ukrainian.
Yeah. So I just took pictures of that, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so then we took a little bit of time off from doing anything until April 25th. We went to the Veronicky House. Originally, we were going to go do some different things.
But they were all closed that day.
But also, other parts of Queens has Ukrainians. I guess I read that there were 100,000 people of Ukrainian heritage in New York City.
They said, though, this was in Ridgewood, and it was one of the few Ukrainian places in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Although the one behind the counter actually said she was Polish, but she said the people in the back are from the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And she said that they were all not too happy about their relatives back home having to live through the horribleness. So let's see. So we went, there's Brian in the place. So you see, this is what they sell, but it's not a restaurant. You can't go there, but you can buy that food and then take it. Turns out next door is a Chinese restaurant, I think, and they let us sit outside on the sidewalk cafe.
Yeah, it's like a nice deli.
I had borscht, and we had some of these other things. Chicken liver canapé, Ukrainian plate. What is that? Oh, here we go.
Pierogies.
This was good. The sausage, pierogies. Anyway, so we went in there, and this is what we ate. These are chicken hamburgers with kasha, beets, but it was cold. Beet salad was cold. Sauerkraut was cold. Brian had stew, which you said was pretty good.
Beef stew, very good. Over the kasha.
Yeah, but
With vegetables.
you know, it was in Queens. It's not the same as in Manhattan. But whatever. That's Edita, and I was buying a whole bunch of stuff. The halva wasn't so good.
A whole bunch of Ukrainian.
Oh, we didn't make the
candy.
eggs. You could
That's
make
true,
eggs.
yeah.
They have a little Easter egg thing there. And but we had a very nice time. This very nice woman worked there. We got some pastries. She's weighing them. See, you have these are the meats, sausages, and this is probably what they're eating, dried meats, because they don't have any electricity in lots of the Ukraine right now because the Russians are crazy. Compote there's a cherry drink, water, apple cider. Too much water to my taste. And this is a drink made out of dried fruits. I gotta say, my mother was from Czechoslovakia, and the Czechoslovakian compote was actually a little bit better. This one only had dried prunes and apples. My mother used apricots, pears, all the other stuff. Okay, you know what? I think I still have this in my freezer. I have to go make this. Sauerkraut.
They look good.
Yeah, they're kind of like pierogies, I guess. That's a nice picture. Maybe we use that one in the paper.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done yet. A little bit late this month. Okay, okay, here we go into other things.
We saw a dog in the window.
Yeah, this was on the east side. Okay. We went to a place called Arka.
And as you can see, with the Ukrainian flags, it was decorated a little bit like how we have it here.
And I have to say this, Arka is on, you have to look it up, ARKA. It was in the East Village, kind of like on 2nd Street, between 1st Avenue and Avenue A, on the right side there as you go down. A very nice store and a very interesting situation. That gentleman, turns out, he's one of the owners, he and his wife, and he used to own Leshko's restaurant. Anybody who's old like me might remember Leshko's and the Odessa, which we mentioned in the last segment of this syndicated program on George's YouTube channel. I only got like 4 views last month, so hopefully tell your friends about it. In any case, he owned Leshko's. He knew all the people that I knew, the owner of the Kiev restaurant, things like that. The guy's been around like me. And a very interesting person. He makes buying trips to the Ukraine and gets a lot of good stuff.
Both of the owners were really nice.
Yeah, look at this. What paper is that? Only the
Red Hook Star-Revue.
Okay, they have these religious things you could buy there.
Those are really cool. They had some magnets, homemade.
Why don't you tell them about the eggs?
And then, of course, Ukraine is known for the eggs. So they had all types of different ones. Really cool looking.
Yeah, we went to, in the museum, we went to afterwards, there was a pretty interesting movie about these eggs. And then we met another day a woman who makes the eggs. And she said that the reason for these eggs are from primitive times in Ukraine. And in the winter, I guess it got really cold.
Yeah.
And this was their offering to the gods to please bring back the spring, so they
bring back the crops like a rebirth,
to have a good harvest and all that stuff. Pretty cool. He said these shirts, which they sell upwards of $250, can take, they're handmade, Each one is unique, and they could take 6 to 8 months just to make one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
A lot of details in them.
Okay, this must already be at the museum.
That was at the start of the museum.
Yeah, all right. There was a little TV show right when you walk in. That's the only place this month that asked me to wear a mask, which I didn't mind, even though there was hardly anybody there. But they had a little introduction, which was pretty contemporary because it included the current war. Talked about Ukraine. They have quite a large history. Some of these people there. Les Corbas. We saw this painting later. It's a very nice painting. Something that Picasso would do.
Yeah.
It says Cubist. So Picasso was not the only Cubist. No, that's something else. A Cossack. We saw those paintings. Ukraine was the birthplace of scores of prominent Jews. Among many others, the writers Joseph Roth, Paul Celan, Bruno Schultz. Then we have Zionist leader Vladimir Zabotinsky. He was more than a leader. I think he was a machine gunner. And former Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir, also born in the Ukraine, as was the founder of Hasidism, Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer. Now, I was thinking that if I were to start a sect of Hasidics, because, was it you? Somebody was asking me, why do they all wear black?
I don't think it was me, but...
Somebody asked me, so why do they always have black clothes on? I said, you know what, maybe they have a blue clothes Hasidic Jew. I'm going to start the yellow Hasids. Yellow and
gold.
Blue. Yeah.
And then, of course, Zelensky is also Jewish.
Oh, yeah. And the Russian foreign minister said, so was Hitler.
They call them Nazis, but
yeah,
the president is Jewish.
Now, how about this? This was very interesting. Because, I just figured, Crimea, there must be all Russians there. That's why they took it over. Because, you know what? We didn't know. I didn't know anything. But look at this. The Crimean Peninsula was home to the Tatars. Not the Tartars, but the Tatars, a Turkic people, meaning they're closer actually to Turkey. Since the 13th century, they frequently fought Ukrainian Cossacks, but just as frequently were allied with them in joint campaigns. Russian Empress Catherine the Great captured the Crimea in the late 18th century. As Russians began settling the peninsula, the Tatars were forced to leave and become a minority in their own homeland, like the Kurds. The entire Crimean Tatar population was ethnically cleansed in 1944 as Joseph Stalin packed them into cattle cars and settled them in Central Asia. Sounds familiar? Despite official barriers, they began returning in the 1950s. In-migration increased markedly after Ukraine's independence in 1991. The Crimean Tatar revival ended in 2014 when Russian President Vladimir Putin... you know what? It just made me think that of all the Italian sauces, how you got spaghetti bolognese and spaghetti this.
Yeah.
I like puttanesca. Let's give some to Putin, let him get heartburn and get sick and die. When Russian President Vladimir Putin invaded and annexed the Crimea, the Tatars are now persecuted both politically and culturally in their own homeland. That's the story. And we didn't care about it. We didn't do anything. No. Whatever. There it is. Look at all these cities.
Crimea.
Tons. It's Sevastopol. That's the only thing I ever heard of. But you know what? I just didn't think anything of it. Oh, there must be Russians. Nobody complained. Well, I was wrong. Anyway, that's all from that TV show. It was pretty good. Okay, now here's the museum. If you see anything you want to talk about, stop me. I'm just going to go through these. Oh.
I like this one.
Yes.
The whole group of them.
And we spoke to that woman about this artist. There was a series called The Mushroom, something or other, that this man redid now. And the pea, you'll see peas in here. That's Putin. Putin is the peas. Ukrainians are the mushrooms. I mean, look, I don't know who the artichokes are, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the guns. But look at how cool this is.
Really cool to look at, though.
Yeah, this is a polymer, he said. What does it say? Not polyester.
Nikita Kraftstov.
King peas, deadly Grad and Smerch rockets strike from great distances, destroying cities, infrastructure, and civilians. From the series The War of the Mushrooms, 2022, acrylic. It's acrylic on paper. You know what? I love these paintings. Where do you see? There's tons of them. Oh, that's a nice one. It's the lady mushroom, and she's sitting on some kind of an artichoke. And these are the artichoke Russians.
Planes.
Look at this guy. There's Mr. Putin. In King Pea's kingdom, even spiritual shepherds serve evil with upside-down crosses. Is that true? I guess
There's the upside-down cross.
Yeah. But sparrows will soon dethrone them. That's the sparrow.
That's my favorite one.
The table.
There he is sitting at the mile away from everyone else at the table.
And look, you can
on
see
his throne.
You can see his behind. And these are the heads of the military at the end. More things. You know, I just want to say this. This is not choreographed. This is not, oh, we went through this and we spent 14 years making sure we had all the best pictures. This is just spontaneous. This is what I took. Look, that's Russia. Oh, yeah, that's Russia.
The Russian one, and there's the Ukrainian one.
Yeah. The evil peas. Okay, this is some other stuff. The circus. Oh, I like this because Picasso, I forget the name of these guys, but they dressed harlequins. These are harlequins. Picasso did a nice series of harlequins. This is 1920. Future Man, remember?
This one was really cool because it was from 1920, and it wasn't too far off from the present.
Yeah, he's going on roller skates. He's got flying wings. He's got headphones on. Wait, can you see him?
Yeah.
Headphones. The only thing, he doesn't have a cell phone. That's about it. But he's got a tire. There's a harlequin. You know what? These are pretty cool. These are Ukrainian artists.
There's the actual... We saw the picture of that one, and now we saw the actual thing.
Cubist figure. Alexandra Exter. Again. This one I thought could be on Batman. Like the Joker.
Yeah, so I was thinking, looks like the Joker.
Portrait of Shaliapin in an opera role. Oh yeah, some of these things were like, these were drawings made to get the set designers to, or the wardrobe people, give them ideas for an opera. I like that. These actually were pretty small, and there were a lot of them. This guy, this is what he made, and the frame is important with it. Look, these are all things I wouldn't mind having. David Berliuk, 1950, Girl with Apples. There's the girl with apples. It's kind of cool. There's a windmill. It's kind of fun going to museums.
Yeah.
Here are the eggs.
Beautiful.
And we met the woman who made some of these.
The details on them are incredible.
Yeah, and the movie showed how they do this. If you make one mistake, you got to start all over again. You can't fix it. And they're real eggs, too.
Yeah. That was from the program on how they were made.
Was it? I don't know what that is. Probably. Here's more, that reminds me of Monet, maybe. And that last summer I went to New Mexico, and we call it Native Americans. I bought something like this in a gift shop. I don't know exactly what. I think you drink out of them, but they're like circles. Look how pretty that is. This is all Ukrainian, by the way. That's what we're doing. We're showing you that the Ukrainians are as cultured as any other people in the world. Anytime somebody gets bombed, that's like, your mother or your aunt or me get bombed.
Yeah.
The same kind of like human beings. Look at that. I like this one. For some reason, this reminds me of Joni Mitchell, but not exactly, but she could have painted it. It's Krista Olenska, who only lived to be 38 years old.
Yeah.
Look at these beautiful paintings. Then we went to the gift shop. Oh,
this place is really cool.
Yeah, what's it called? Scheme? I wrote it down here. Streeta. Streeta? Streetcha. This is on 7th Street, but if you don't know where it is, you're never going to find it. We were the only people that didn't speak Ukrainian.
They had great food there.
There it is, Streetcha. So, write it down. It said it's run by the church, actually. There's the Ukrainian thing. This says F blank blank K Putin.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the menu. I think we had sausage with cabbage, which I want to go back and get some more.
They had amazing food there. The pierogies were great.
Pierogies, we had 6 of them. And the borscht was good. Very modest. There's Brian at the table. Streetcha.
There's the food.
Yeah, we had a stuffed cabbage, little applesauce, pierogies with sour cream. Very good. This I would eat every day. It was as good as having a hot dog. This food
was amazing.
Yeah. There it is again.
And we need to go back there.
Yeah, okay. Can we take a break now and get something to eat? Run by the St. George's Church. Okay, this is all. Okay, then. Oh, this is our office. At ARCA, they gave us a flag, which is now hanging in the...
we put up the Ukrainian flag.
That's a mailing machine. It's not a newspaper. I ordered this book because a lot of people, they like to think that Ukrainians... And I kind of thought, I heard about this, that they were against Jews. But this book is very interesting. A Millennium of Coexistence, including Golda Meir. Okay, this was Taras Shevchenko, the Ukrainian poet of the 19th century. And there was a picture of him with, he made good friends with a black man from America who had been a slave, who was also a writer.
Yeah, and he was born a Ukrainian serf in the Russian Empire. And he was freed in 1838 while an art student.
In 1847, he was arrested, forced into the army, and punished in exile for writing the poems The Dream, The Caucasus, and The Epistle. I mean, Russia hasn't ever changed.
Which satirized the oppression of Ukraine.
Yeah. There he is. And there's more eggs.
I still can't get over all the details on them.
Yeah, see, these are like primitive type things that you would... Okay, this is the museum on 79th Street.
Yeah.
A mace, which Ukrainians probably are.
Old school weapon.
Yeah. Nice little shoes. I was thinking that it's good to have things from Ukraine all over the world. So when the Russians, as they're destroying everything, at least these are saved. Oh, this was a good picture of Ukraine versus Scotland.
They played in 1959, and now they're playing each other again in a World Cup qualifier match coming up.
Yep. This looks like a little bit like my friend Peter Longo, but he was the poet that people love this guy.
Hmm.
I'll have to see what his name is. Ivan Franko. We saw a picture of him in Streeter. There's one on the wall.
Yeah.
One of the three pillars of classical Ukrainian literature, together with Taras Shevchenko and Lesia Ukrainka, and a nominee for the Nobel Prize in 1916. In addition to his own literary work, he also translated the works of such renowned figures as William Shakespeare, Lord Byron, Pedro Calderón de la Barca, Dante, Victor Hugo, not the Dante who writes for the Red Hook Star-Revue, it's a different Dante, Adam Mickiewicz, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and Friedrich Schiller. You know, don't tell me that Ukraine doesn't exist. This woman makes eggs. She made the eggs that we saw in the Ukrainian Museum, and we spoke with her. I don't know what she exactly looks like, but that's what she looks like with the mask on. And she was adding more eggs. She makes these eggs.
She told us, if you make a mistake, that's it.
Yeah.
You got to start all over with the new one.
Yeah. The colors. Oh, these are tapestries. Beautiful colors. Yeah. Ukraine, this institute, I think I paid $8 each. And we went in there.
Totally empty. We had the whole place to ourselves. It was incredible.
It was fabulous. Like across the street is the Museum of Modern Art. No, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which I'm sure there are lines and lines. Here, you had the whole day to just browse. In a very nice place. Look at these colors. These are hand woven. And you could buy them. They had prices for them. See, like $3,500. This guy's from Chicago, or lives in Chicago. Tapestry is my way of transforming an awareness, an experience, or a commonplace observation. Isn't that beautiful? Now here's something. There's a lady and there's a lion in that tapestry. Yeah. Volodymyr Hankovich, from where your forebears are from.
Lviv.
Yes. These are beautiful things. Oh, that's just the flag that was in the window. Just like ours, except they still have the little boxes, so I guess they all came folded the same way.
Yeah.
Now look, it's great things. And we just got to watch this. Nobody else to bother us in this mansion. I mean, look at that, trees. There was a painter, a German painter named Klimt, who was famous for using gold leaf. Now look at this room. This is just the room of the mansion. Look what a beautiful room that is. You know, that's not even part of the museum pieces. It's just there. That's Brian. Kind of look like a movie star.
That was some nice place. I can't imagine someone living in that all by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy, the Vanderbilt, who sold it to the museum. Well, actually, after he died. This I didn't tell you about.
Vanderbilt or Stuyvesant?
Oh, Stuyvesant, maybe.
I thought it might have
Oh,
been
yeah, the last
Stuyvesant.
Stuyvesant. That's correct. Look at the bathroom.
Yeah, they had a really nice bathroom.
It's gorgeous. That's me. It looks like I had darker hair than today. That's a lady. Or part of one. These were the fourth floor. These are historical figures that somebody painted in 18-something. Roman Mishurich was that guy. They told who the guys were. And then the sculpture room, and I like that. There was one guy that did all this stuff. That's my foot. Oh, that's me. Wait, oh, this is a painting. Is it?
No, that's a picture.
We went there? Oh, I know what this is. I went For some reason, I was at the Old Town Bar. I think I went to the bathroom there. And I saw all these people there. It looks like a painting.
I must have waited outside because I didn't remember it.
No, I might have already... I don't know. For some reason, I was there. Maybe a couple days later.
Yeah.
And I wrote a column in the last issue about how people, the community board, still refuses to meet in person. And yet, I'm sure half the community board goes to places like this and no masks or anything, and they just have a good time. And they're all in person. These are not people on Zoom. Okay, let's see. Then I went to the newspaper convention, blah, 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 blah. We got a first place. Okay. Convention. What's this? Oh, it's an afternoon Saturday. Oh, here's something cool. This little restaurant, Compton's, which is, if you go to Saratoga Springs, go to this little place there, Compton's. It's a great restaurant. Very modest. But I never saw this before. They sell advertising on the mugs. This is like a little break. Okay, let's get back to the Ukraine. Still Saratoga Springs. Does anybody think this looks like Harpo Marx?
Definitely.
There it is. Looks like Harpo, but it's really a Roman satire, they call it. Okay. What is this? How come we were out of photos here? Photos?
Maybe that was it for the month.
Wait a second. Did we already... Oh, yeah. We did all these places.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a good month, and we'll see you next month. Most probably, I think we were thinking about going to benefits.
Yeah.
For May. As long as Russia's still doing those horrible things, we'll be writing about benefits. And then we'll get back to other things. But this war is too important.
Slava Ukraini.
Oh, hold on. Keep saying that.
Slava Ukraini.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Keep saying it.
Slava Ukraini.
Okay, keep saying it.